Dr. John Watson. I shared a flat at 221B Baker Street with a young man named Sherlock Holmes. This would normally be a simple statement of simple fact, but I had learned in the first few weeks of our association that the normal process of returning home was in itself an adventure. I never knew what to expect. I seldom expected what I found. I had decided to spend a quiet evening at home, and I was determined not to become involved in any new scheme that Holmes would invent.
Sulfate gas. Oh? Do you remember the Dietrich case, when the defense tried to prove that no one could produce the deadly poison without a trained chemist?
No.
Well, I'm going to try it now. With kitchen utensils and a secondary school chemistry book. I knew it could be done. There it is, Watson. Brilliant.
Now you've done.
That woman was guilty as a vulture. Clever, too.
Holmes, I wish you wouldn't forget that we've got to live in these rooms.
Can't imagine why the prosecution didn't think of this.
The gentleman arrived here in a hansom. Appears to be coming up here.
What else did you notice about our visitor?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say about 30-ish, conservatively dressed. A man of modest means. What do you think, Holmes?
I don't know. I didn't see him. You did.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Oh, excuse me. Morning, do come in, will you?
Good morning. Is this Sherlock Holmes' flat?
Yes, indeed. Oh, sulfate gas.
Oh.
Mr. Holmes has been experimenting. That's Mr. Holmes.
How do you do, Mr. Holmes?
How do you do?
I must apologize for calling upon you without an appointment, Mr. Holmes, but it is urgent.
May I present my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson?
How do you do?
How do you do?
Now then, Mr. Winthrop. Mr. Harvey Winthrop, isn't it?
Have we met before, sir?
No, but you mustn't underestimate your reputation. Won't you come in? And sit down.
Thank you.
Over there.
I had heard your powers of observation were remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Perhaps you also know the purpose of my visit.
I can only say it's a personal matter.
How do you know?
It is always a personal matter when one consults me rather than the police.
Of course. But my reason to see you actually concerns my elder brother, John. It is he who controls the family wealth. In the event of his death, I would be sole heir.
Does his death seem imminent?
Well, his life has been threatened.
In what way?
I noticed you didn't ask by whom.
You took pains to point out that only you would benefit by your brother's death. If you knew who made the threat, you wouldn't be so concerned with your own innocence.
You're right. I do not know who's making these threats. Actually, I don't even know if it is a who.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Well, it is possibly a what, Dr. Watson. In this case, the heritage of every old family. The family legend.
What is the Winthrop legend?
Every member of the family, destined for a violent death, finds about his person silver coins.
Silver coins? Oh, you mean like those silver coins the pirates use, called pieces of 8?
Exactly, Dr. Watson. Pieces of 8 as a warning, and at the time of death, a gold doubloon.
Have these coins any special significance?
30 years ago, my father was killed by a fall down the stairs in the main hall of Winthrop Manor. A gold doubloon was found under his body.
Was he actually seen to fall downstairs?
No. The manor was closed and has remained so ever since.
I assume your brother has discovered several silver coins.
Each day for the past 7 days.
I see. What has been his reaction?
He has decided for the first time in 30 years to reopen Winthrop Manor.
In defiance of the legend?
Exactly. We are going to be there this weekend.
Who is we?
My brother, my fiancée, and myself. And I would like you two, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, to be there as well.
Well, that's very good of you, sir.
Do you have any other evidence to substantiate your belief?
I was very young in those days, but I can still remember the sight of my father's body at the bottom of those stairs.
Dr. Watson and I will arrive at Winthrop Manor this Friday night.
Oh, thank you very much. If there's anything I can do until then, or if there's any question you want to ask me before, please don't hesitate to call upon me at any time.
We'll do that.
Thank you. Again, thank you, gentlemen.
Not at all. Good day, you, sir. Good day. Well, Holmes, what do you think?
I think it's amazing the extent to which people will go to obscure the simple facts of murder or threatened murder.
You don't believe in the legend?
Nonsense.
Well, but after all, Holmes, you said yourself that these things very often have a basis of fact.
The odor lingers. There was no mention of that in the Dietrich's case.
I'm a man of science myself, Holmes, you know that. And yet there are things that happen every day for which they have no logical explanation.
How would Mrs. Dietrich's have removed the odor?
Of course, it could work equally well both ways. Winthrop himself admitted that in the event of his brother's death, he was the heir to the estate. His visit here might have been a blind.
The solution of a murder, Watson, is infinitely easier than the prevention. We have committed ourselves to a weekend in a drafty manor house that has been closed for 30 years. We will watch and we will wait. And in time, we will apprehend the persons or ghosts who will commit the murder of the Winthrop legend.